I was born during the Japanese occupation in 1943, in the midst of the Second World War. And I was born in this very home. We had a large family of 11, a football team, 9 boys and 2 girls. And in our home, my father played the drums. My brother played the piano, another one played the violin. I played the saxophone. And so on Sundays, we all gathered together and we all had a singing session and so on. So that was how we spent our Sundays. And of course, Sunday was a very important day. It's a day of obligation. The first thing we did was we got up to go to church. My father made sure that we were dressed in our Sunday best. And the reason he told us why we had to dress in our Sunday best, it was not to make a show of our or the fashion or whatever it is, but he felt that when you go to the church, you are meeting the King of Kings. And then came Father Sosan. I was still young. I wasn't. Father Sosan came and he asked me, "What's your name?" And I said. Then he told me he was in charge of the Jalan Kayu, the welfare center, and he told me, "Can you come once or twice a week to help to give those poor children tuition?" I've never seen such poverty among these people. To me, it was like a cultural shock. So that was the beginning of how I thought it was actually getting involved. And that's why you can understand my passage as a priest was always the care of the poor and the marginalized.
I didn't know Father Anthony at all actually until we met in the minor seminary. That was in 1962. I could see his caring. I could see he was a man who had a heart, behind that facade that might have seemed strict or firm or stern. I began to notice in him a man who had a heart, a sensitivity, especially for the weaker, the poorer. He had that way of understanding and kind of relating to people's need.
I got to know Father Adrian Anthony way back in maybe the early 80s, even before I finished schooling. He used to come over for meals in the evening, and I got to know him a little better as it went along, and it was Father Adrian Anthony, in fact, who really planted that seed of vocation in my priesthood. As I look back, the years in the minor seminary that I was in those days, of course, there were many rules, many regulations that were in place, and of course he was strict. I found him a no-nonsense person when it comes to really towing whatever the seminary has for us as minor seminarians. Father Adrian Anthony is someone who is people-oriented, and the way he handles situations, even in the seminary, especially with problems and situations, always very down to earth, with his 2 feet on the ground, and he speaks off his mind, and these are some of the things that I learned from him.
At the time, he was strict, but I could see that, now looking back, there was love behind it, and he did out of love, not out of being cruel or anything like that. So, I'm thankful for those years that I was under him, and years I served for him. He emphasized the need to have discipline and to be wholehearted when you do something. And so in our case, it was being an altar server. To be wholehearted, not do things halfway or to be half-hearted. And so that's something that stayed with me.
After ordination, my first posting was to St. Vincent de Paul. That's where I think we really grew, to know each other, to become friends and to work together. And I think his support for me was immense. As a newly ordained priest, you look for guidance, and he gave that, more in a fatherly way rather than as like a parish priest or an assistant priest. For which I'm always grateful, because that sort of settles you down, It keeps telling you not to worry about too many things and just take one step at a time, get involved in ministries. And I think in particular his support for me for neighborhood groups was really, really good, because I was a firm believer, and I'm still a firm believer of NCCs, but I think his gentle prodding encouragement was very, very helpful.
A very happy golden sacerdotal anniversary to you, Father Adrian Anthony. It is with great joy that we are celebrating your golden jubilee. Not many priests in the Archdiocese have this great opportunity to celebrate their golden jubilee when they are still of sound mind and healthy. And you, Father Adrian Anthony, in spite of your near-death illness, the Lord has given you the grace to recover marvelously. And today, you are able to celebrate this golden jubilee. Most of all, Father Adrian, we want to thank you, not just for being a great pastor, but also a great church builder. You have renovated the Church of St. Vincent de Paul, and when you were at the cathedral, you prepared the ground to renovate the cathedral. It was a massive work that you have put in the preparation before Monsignor Philip Heng took over. We are truly grateful for your generosity, and I pray that as you continue in your retirement years, that your relationship with the Lord will be deepened, and as you continue to give yourself in service to whoever calls upon you, you will continue to be enriched in your ministry. So may the good Lord bless you and keep you healthy, and most of all, give you joy and peace. Happy golden anniversary, ad multos annos. Thank you.